Welcome back to my messy workbench. I'm not at my modeling desk because the bench lighting died and I need to go buy a new one. So, excuse the mess. Um, what I wanted to kind of talk about was the Mill Brothers Lumber Wholesaler. Um, it's going to make up a fairly decent sized portion of this module, and it's going to be probably my next build for a kit because each of the things seems pretty simple. So what I kind of want to go over in this video, I'm not actually going to build anything and just kind of like want to talk about the kit itself. It's an older kit. I did find a date stamp somewhere. It's 1998. It's been long discontinued. Anyways, here's the box. Let me see if I can zoom that. There's not much information online. I looked to see if anyone else kind of had built this kit or had it on their layout or had made it in a video, and not finding it. I can't remember if I got this at a train show or on eBay or something, but you know, I had this really big lumber kick. So I basically bought like the entire Cornerstone series that was discontinued, and this is one of them. So you can see there's like this garage over here, and then there's like a shed building and an office and an open canopy, and then this like bigger shed that has a loading dock, and it's up a little higher. And yeah, so from here you can kind of see, sorry, the lighting is so. There's a close-up of the office, and then the shed, and that's a little better. And then the garage, and let me see if there are any more. Yep. And here's the open air canopy, and here's the loading dock. And then of course they like to tout all their other lumber stuff, which, other than the planing mill I have, that's been discontinued, and I have some of these cars, and I have one of the center beams, so I don't know. I also have these 3 other kits that I will build when I get a big layout. Anyways, took it out of the box. Here are the instructions for it. The instructions are not on the Walthers website. They only have the footprint, which is not to scale, so it makes it kind of a pain to try to put on your layout. You have to like redraw it all out. Anyways, this first page, I feel like they did this in their older instruction kits and they don't do it now, but this is sort of gives you a blah 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 all about lumber, and talks about how, I mean, it's a good history and kind of gives you stuff, and they recommend, what's frustrating is they recommend a bunch of things to buy, and then, you know, especially on these older kits, you go online and you put these model numbers in and they're all discontinued. Pretty straightforward. The office, the large shed, the open canopy, and then on the back there's actually there's one of this open shed, and then there's 2 of this small shed. A few things that I noted. So I popped out the bases to put on the module just to play with. Nothing on these sprues that are really interesting. They've got all these. First of all, it's like a maraschino cherry red, so it's definitely going to have to be painted. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The other thing that I find kind of interesting, the Walton and Son lumber company, these like sheds or wood storage sheds have the racks for the lumber, where this just kind of looks like it has, I guess, a way for you to like line up and put in some of your own styrene to make racks, but what I wanted to point out was there's all these like shed doors, and there's actually two of this. Right here. There's two of these, so they're exactly the same. But like, these doors are not the same as these doors, are not the same as these doors. So it's I mean, it gives it a little variety, but still kind of a pain. I know when I'm building this, I'm gonna have to pay really close attention to make sure that I'm putting the right door in the right place. It does kind of imply that, just grab one of these bases from over here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but there's these grooves. And in these grooves, it does look like you can put, put one of the doors, earthquake, put one of the doors in, and then they also provide these little pieces here that go on the top side that also hold, they actually do have a groove in them, so the doors can actually slide. So I think that that's interesting. I don't think that I would make the door slide, and I might even make one of the sheds open to just give it a little more interest. But I'm not 100% sure. I mean, my local lumber yard, basically everything's open, and they just keep it secure by having a big chain link fence around the whole place. So here is the kit for, or the sprue for the office. Now, one of the things I think I had mentioned in my first video, these are for the other, this is for the garage and this is for the loading dock. One of the things I had mentioned in one of the first videos about this layout was there was this weird, right here, this weird piece, and I was like, what the heck? It is not in any of the plans. Nowhere is this thing mentioned. And I'm like, what the heck? And it goes on here, just like that. And the base of the office for the kit was here. And I'm like, I thought it was weird that like the base wasn't molded in gray, it was molded in white. And then there's all these little, where's the other piece? I broke it off. So then there's all these little tiny, and I'm like, it looks like a gate, like, but there's no gates. And sure enough, I was looking, and I'll include a picture. The Office with Guard Shack kit is exactly this. If you look, the base of the Office and Guard Shack has doors in the same place, windows in the same place. The Guard Shack is exactly the same, and all it would take are these two sprues, and you have that kit. I mean, it would need one more sprue probably for the armatures on the gates and whatever else they wanted to add to it, but that's what these two are. So basically, you get the add-on in this kit, and they don't mention it, of a little guard shack. But it doesn't come with gates. So I need to figure out if I want to use that, if this is going to be a big lumber supply company. All the ones around me are surrounded by big, giant chain link fences, and have big gates on them, so when they close up, they're secure. So it might be something cool. I don't picture it being something like a manned gatehouse like you would see like at a parking lot or something like that, but it still might be a little cool to build. And then I was like, because the windows are so big on it, I was kind of thinking it might be kind of cool to put like a desk and a chair and maybe a little light inside of it. And that's the other piece I wanted to talk about, was what I want to do in addition to just out of the box build it, of how can I make these better. Now the office, there's a door, 2 windows in the front. This is on one side and this is on the other. Now on the layout, I was planning that this was gonna be the front, and you were gonna look in. But I'm also planning on adding the Pike Stuff retail store with wholesaler in the back, and that would be like the main like customer retail thing. So I don't really need this as like an office for the facility. So maybe it could be more like an employee break area or just like a back storage area. So I may put some lights in here. I mean, the base doesn't really have... I could fill it with styrene and like I'm going to paint this gray to match the rest of them. I don't know. I was thinking, you know, like because it has so many windows, you might be able to see into it. And, you know, that's part of my shtick is I want to be the super detail guy. It doesn't have to be prototypical to say any particular time, place, road name, etc. It just like, I like super realism. So, I'm going to be all about interiors and lighting and weeds in the cracks of the driveway and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm wondering if it's worth the effort. I mean, really, interiors don't have to be super, super detailed because you're just trying to like, oh, there's something in there and that's cool. Even if it's like a desk and a couch and a person on it and a light, you'll still see like, oh, there's somebody in there. Maybe a computer at the desk. I'm sure easy enough to simulate a computer screen with a bluish LED. Especially since the back wall has no windows. If the back of the screen is towards the front, you'll never see it. So that's what I was thinking about with this stuff. But I also want to make sure that I add, you know, because I want this to look good at night. So I'll probably add some kind of exterior light here and on the side as well. Same with most of these. I was thinking about how am I going to light these. This is going to be the front for this, and then this will be the track side. So I'll probably put some sort of light outside of the doors here. I don't know if it should be a spotlight or like just a wall light. I don't know if I'm gonna light any of the sheds or I'll probably light the garage, but not the wood sheds or the open air canopy. Why don't we look back at the layout design? We can kind of talk about lighting, just due to their position, how you might light that. So okay, sorry it's a little darker. I'm shooting from the other angle, but so if we imagine that this is some complex, there's a gate of some sort here, chain link going around, and put the office back here. So trains come in, there'll be some chain link fence in between the buildings and going around the outside here. These are the sheds right here. This is the garage, and then this is the open air. It can probably go either way because we want to make sure that the vehicles that are parking here, like forklifts and stuff, would have space to get around. And then this white piece of paper, again, is the Pike Stuff retail wholesaler. And the rest of this can be customer parking. But what I want to think about is, like, how is this going to be lit up? I don't have this kit yet, so I don't know what to do with it yet, but I'm assuming there'd probably be some sort of floodlight on this corner out to the parking lot. Same with the corner of this building. There'd be some sort of floodlight, or even some sort of post light up, projecting down, and then on the office, a light near the doors, and maybe another one of those post lights sort of like over here going up, and then maybe on this, if it was going to be right here on the peak of the gable, kind of pointing down, to try to light it. Problem is, it's very easy to go overkill on lighting and then everything is super bright and washed out. But I mean, that's real life too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to make sure that everything's lit and what needs an interior gets an interior. I mean, that's the other thing. I'm going to have to make a ton of scale lumber and or wrapped lumber to go inside the sheds, inside the open air canopy, inside the loading dock, because it's really, really close to the edge. And if I'm standing here, you're going to see in this, and that's why it needs the detail. I want the detail. It's a small scene. So that's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I will include the shot of the Walthers office and guard shack so you can see what I was talking about with the kit. And yeah, I hope you guys comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, get all the updates. I hope to move forward on this kit pretty quick. I got a bunch of stuff coming in from Amazon, so hopefully we'll be able to make some progress on this real quick. And I will keep posting videos as quickly as I can make them. So talk to you guys later.